Hello everybody, KH fan, Duncan here. It's 2012, it's my first video of the year. I'm going to start doing album reviews because I've been looking up to guys such as CountBlagorath, runnerjma, CannibalSpork, CountBlagorath. You guys are awesome. If you want to subscribe to those guys, I'll put the links in the description below. So first album review for me is going to be Lamb of God's Resolution, which comes out January 24th, and I must tell you, this album is incredible. I have not enjoyed a Lamb of God release as much as this since I heard Sacrament. This is a huge step up from Wrath, and Lamb of God is known for being labeled as like the metalcore band. Some people would say that they invented metalcore, which I wouldn't even say that. But that's just other people's opinion, not mine. I'm entitled to my opinion, so on. Lamb of God has always put out great albums. Even their Burn the Priest stuff is great. New American Gospel, it's great debut for the band. Well, after they changed their name to Lamb of God. Then they kept stepping up their game with each album, from As the Palace is Burned, Ashes of the Wake, Sacrament, Wrath, and now Resolution. Resolution, man, it's a straight kick to the balls the entire way through. It's probably the heaviest Lamb of God. Hold on, let me move that. Heaviest Lamb of God album yet, in my opinion. We'll start off. Well, I have to say that when I first heard the song Ghost Walking, which came out a month ago, I couldn't recognize Randy Blythe's vocals right off the bat. The vocals just sound way different from any of the previous Lamb of God albums, but he's gotten. I think he's gotten better, to be quite honest with you. His vocals have gotten much deeper and a lot heavier than the last few albums. There's nothing more I can say about his vocals. I love his vocal style. Willie Adler and Mark Morton really stepped up their game on the guitars. The guitar riffs in this album are just ridiculously good. The bass is pretty audible. Even though this got leaked, it's not the best quality, but you can somewhat hear the bass on that quality. But I'm just waiting until the album comes out, and I'll be buying that. Chris Adler always steps up his game on the drumming. His drumming's been ridiculous on every album. I love his drumming. I'm a huge fan, considering that I'm a drummer. Yeah, I can't go wrong with his drumming. He just blows me away every time. So let's get started with the album. Well, let's start with the first song, Ghost Walking, which was the first song released on the album. I really enjoyed this song. Sounds like any typical Lamb of God song. I liked the acoustic guitar intro that Mark Morton wrote out, and then it just kicks right into the song. Honestly, out of all the songs I've heard on this album, Ghost Walking is one of the weakest songs on the album. The rest of the album just keeps getting better and better with each song. Straight to the Sun, the opening song, which is 2 minutes, I was literally scared shitless as soon as I heard Randy Blythe's first scream in the very beginning of the album. It's just, wow. Literally nobody ever does that for me, and Randy Blythe just kind of did that. I've never been scared of someone's scream that much, ever, since I heard Cannibal Corpse. But anyway, yeah, that goes straight into Desolation, which is also a really heavy track. Standout tracks for me on this album would have to be the Undertow, the number 6, and Terminally Unique, which is probably my favorite song on the album after listening to it a few times, and the last song on the record, which is pretty much an epic to me, which would be King Me. Undertow, pretty fast song for Lamb of God. They usually don't play very fast, but this was one of the faster songs I've heard on the album. The number 6, definitely one of the best Lamb of God songs I've heard in a very long time, to be quite honest with you. And excuse me for a sec. And then in the middle of the album, you have the song Barbarossa, which is a 1.5-minute instrumental song, which kind of reminded me of the intro to Grace off of Wrath, just a little bit. Kind of skipping over some songs, some standout songs. Cheated, 2.5-minute long. It's probably the thrashiest song on the entire album. Insurrection, another one of my favorites on this album. Big punch to the face on that one. Definitely one of my favorites on this album. Terminally Unique, we get to my favorite song. This was probably the most intricate Lamb of God song I've ever heard. Like, there's so many times, there's time signatures on this. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I mean, when Randy Blythe said that this was going to be better than Wrath, he was fucking right. Yeah, To the End, The Visitation. Then you get to the 6.5-minute long epic, King Me. I got completely blown away by this song, and I just kind of got lost in the moment as soon as, just like throughout the entire song, I just couldn't get enough of this. All in all, very solid record. It's probably their rawest sounding record to date. Lamb of God just keeps impressing me. I'd have to give this album a solid 9 out of 10 for me. I'm not just saying that because I'm a huge Lamb of God fan like a lot of people are, but I just found this album to be very, very good for the band. It's a great way to start off the year for me, for new releases. Yeah, it comes out, like I said before, January 24th. I suggest anybody who's a Lamb of God fan to go pick that up. They need to get #1. I mean, Wrath hit #2 on the charts when that came out. Let's get this album to #1 because this album fucking deserves it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them after this album comes out. Yeah, it's definitely going to be worth the money. So I think you all should buy it. It's a very solid release. I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm sure you guys will too if you like Lamb of God or metal in general. So anyway, I hope I didn't butcher this album review too much. It's my first one, so yeah, I'm trying. I'll probably get better later on in the year, so peace out, keep it metal.